Okay, so the year is 2001. The golden days of disc-based entertainment have finally arrived. The PlayStation 2 has a built-in DVD player alongside the Xbox, but you gotta buy a weird remote accessory. I don't know if that works out for everything. CD soundtracks have become so mainstream that they show up before the movies. Like, there's this one, there's way too many of these. Oh wait, I have that one. Oh, and I have that one twice, but it's enough of that. Speaking of the films you watch, your tastes have evolved since the last year. Now you're feeling about something a little bit edgier, while still adhering to the nostalgic films that you've grown up with. Little do you know, what you're looking for is about to come in a big, green, hideous package from not Disney.
But there is one tale that has yet to be told.
You definitely need some Tic Tacs or something, because your breath stinks!
Really?
DreamWorks Pictures presents Shrek.
I just know before this is over, I'm gonna need a whole lot of serious therapy. Look at my eye twitching.
My name is Richard Scrabble, and this program is... Shrek began as a children's book, written by William Steig and published in 1990. It told the tale of an ogre who embarked on a quest to marry a princess. In 1991, famous director Steven Spielberg of Indiana Jones and E.T. fame purchased the film rights, and he initially planned it as a traditionally animated film, like classic Disney. Jeffrey Katzenberg quickly put the film in production as a 3D animated film in 1995 for the new DreamWorks Studios, which it created after leaving Disney. At the start of production, co-director Andrew Adamson, intending to widen the film's appeal to both adults and children, tried to add sexual jokes and Guns N' Roses to the soundtrack. This, of course, led to clashes with Katzenberg over the tone of the project. In the final product, some sexual innuendo remains.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
But Guns N' Roses are completely absent. Animators who were failing at other projects, such as the religious epic Prince of Egypt, were sent to work on Shrek in an act known as Being Shrek'd or Going to the Gulag. At the start of development, comedian Chris Farley of Saturday Night Live fame was cast as the lead role of Shrek.
You're gonna be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river!
With
this lady,
also known as Colette from Ratatouille, as for Princess Fiona, and Eddie Murphy from Coming to America and Mulan as the Talking Donkey. An anti-human activist who later worked on the film recounted of Farley's role.
What struck me most seeing him work was his willingness to reveal himself, lay himself out bare over and again for the sake of his performance. That's a form of talent. That's a form of comedy. But mostly it showed that this industry rewards other things than talent and practice. It rewards courage.
Ultimately, development hit a wall with the tragic death of Chris Farley in 1997. With an estimated 85 to 95% of his dialogue finished, the studio was faced with a no-win situation. Either hire an impersonator to complete the rest of his dialogue for the film that he put his heart into, or completely rewrite the film with someone new in mind. The studio sat on the situation for over a year, until Mike Myers, another SNL star, was signed on as the new Shrek. Under Myers, a number of changes happened, such as removing the parental angle they were going for initially, alongside recasting Fiona. She was replaced by Cameron Diaz, who was known for Something About Mary and Charlie's Angels at the time. Eddie Murphy kept his role as Donkey despite the changes in the rest of the cast, and going off what material I have, including the leaked scene with Farley as Shrek, I would have to say that most of the changes made to the script were made for Shrek and Fiona, as Donkey's dialogue doesn't seem to be changed a lot, but I feel like some of it was definitely changed in re-recordings. Michael Myers initially recorded the dialogue without an accent, and that was how the film was to be made. That is until Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, oh, we don't need this $4 million of animation, and had Mike Myers redo the entire script with an accent, similar to the one he used for Austin Powers. Disclaimer: Adobe Flash was officially discontinued as of January 12, 2021, so I'm using a browser extension called Ruffle. Ruffle is, in the most simplistic terms, an Adobe Flash emulator that will help when viewing old websites on the Wayback Machine. As of writing the script, there is not an official release of Ruffle, so install it at your own risk. Shrek began marketing itself in late 2000 with a website so aptly named Shrek.com. The website was, when I visited, bare, a shell of its former self. Most of the content was lost to time. The main hub has missing images, and vital side functions, such as the jukebox, do absolutely nothing regardless of what you click on them, and there are frequent page 404 errors. Of course, I could have missed a later record of the site that has more content, but I can't imagine there being anything interesting of note, like the Kronk cookbook from Emperor's New Groove. The original Shrek film was subject to multiple video games. Let's start with the oldest console that was graced by the title character himself, Shrek, the PlayStation 1. This console had one game, Shrek Treasure Hunt. This is notable for being the only PlayStation 1 Shrek game, and it is astounding to me how it was released, seeing as how the PlayStation 2 was nearly a year old by this point, but it's a kid's game and that makes sense. Speaking of, this game is the epitome of cheap children's game from the early 2000s. Shrek controls fine, but the game runs poorly with a bad frame rate. Normally, I won't complain about something like that, but it needs to be said. This game runs terribly. This game feels like the kind of game that you would find in a bank. You know, you go to the bank with your parents, they have a PlayStation 2 hooked up with a Mad Catz controller that has been touched by several other kids with their dirty bugger hands, while your mom cries about not being able to afford food this week. But who cares, you're just playing away on Shrek. It's a minigame collection where you have to collect all the collectibles in order to unlock minigames. You'll probably get through everything in about an hour. I don't care enough to finish this. I can't sit here just wasting my time with this game. Weirdly enough, the PlayStation 2 had no Shrek game. The only thing it got were party game spin-offs, which I don't have enough time to mention. This of course begs the question, what console am I gonna go to for my Shrek action? The Shrek Xbox game looks bad. Just look up Rebel Taxi's review of it. I didn't want to play it. Would you believe that there was also a Game Boy Color game? This is one of the worst games I have ever had the displeasure of experiencing. I highly suggest you stay away from this and don't waste your money on it. Anyways, with the aging Game Boy Color console, Nintendo made the Game Boy Advance in 2001 and had a couple Shrek games for it. Castle at the Castle. This game's a 2D beat-em-up game. It follows the movie with a little variation, but not much. The game controls a little stiffly, but it's a godsend compared to what I just had to deal with on the Game Boy Color. There's also Wreakin' Havoc, which was a sequel to the first game and by in turn the movie. The game features the ghost of Lord Farquaad. Upon realizing that, quote-unquote, as a ghost, he has magical powers, possessing characters from the film and forcing Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey to come to return to land normal, or something. I did not bother this one, I just looked up the gameplay on YouTube. For some reason, Fiona's still in her human form, so that's weird. There's also an activity game for the PC, but I don't have a Windows XP computer for games right now. So, yeah. In terms of actual merchandise, Shrek received fast food toys from Burger King. From what I can tell from the commercial, these were just little, candy caddies. Plastic figures that hold your candy with clips to attach them to a backpack. And that came with free Smarties. I'm willing to bet that if you found these today, the Smarties would probably still be edible. Additionally, there was also a limited time
sourdough bacon cheeseburger at Burger King.
Now I'm a believer.
With grilled sourdough bread.
Not a trace of doubt in my mind.
A quarter pound of flame broiled beef.
I'm in love.
It will be sure to make you a believer. Unless you don't like Burger King. But just give it like 6 years, you should be fine. There were also figurines made by McFarlane Toys, which from what I can tell were standard action figures, made probably more durable because they were meant for young children, but with with limited posability. I'd compare these to collector's figures, if that makes any sense. Now it's time to discuss the physical releases. Here we have the DVD release of Shrek. This came out in November of 2001, and the film is on 2 discs. The one on the right is the widescreen version, while the one on the left is the full screen version. As for the inserts, we have the Fun Has Just Begun, which is a collection of advertisements. Here we have some for a contest that was going on, alongside other DreamWorks videos, a cake from Baskin Robbins and the game on Xbox. Then we have another Baskin Robbins, a Game Boy Color advertisement, and a croissant-wich with sausage, egg, and cheese. I'm going to Burger King after this. And here is the main insert, the disc guide, if you will, containing production notes, list of chapters on the DVD, and a list of everything you can access on the DVD itself. I'd like to get into the DVD-ROM features, but I don't have a working computer for that, so on to the VHS one. If you thought there'd be a lot to talk about, you'd be mistaken. As you can see, all this really has is the video cassette, nothing really more to it. If you look on both VHS and the DVD release, you can see a spot where a sticker was. That was for the contest that was running concurrently.
We're doing a new Shrek opening. I hope y'all ready. Yeah! Now we about to go ahead and try to win this new one. I got a good feeling about this. We trying to win that Kia Sedona minivan, that Game Boy Advance, or that Xbox, and we got another damn ice cream.
However, none of what I have just mentioned is important if the film isn't historically significant, which I feel that it is. Shrek was truly the start of the early 2000s animation buzz, and you can sort of see it inspire other projects that came out at the same time. And by inspire, I mean everyone ripped it off. Everyone saw Shrek make a parody of the classic fairy tale in animated form, and everybody loved it. This means that everybody wanted to make their own Shrek. Even Disney got in on it with Chicken Little. This film said computer animation back years, and it's just astounding to me how we're still seeing the effect of this today, because Walmart still has these movies in their bargain bins. You can go there now and find A Talking Donkey, or stuff like Hoodwinked, which features Patrick Warburton, who was also Crockett, but that's beside the point. Shrek is a historically significant film and a good movie, but is it worth what it did to animation in the early 2000s? I'd say it is, but I can't speak for everyone.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Hey, happy Shrek here, everyone. I know this year was pretty big with the 20th anniversary and the 4K Blu-ray, and I know I completely missed the date, but I think I went for another good date, if you know what I mean. I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, but I'm pretty much past that by this point, thank goodness. I've got 2 plans for other episodes this year, so hopefully that pans out. Also, a quick thank you to my friend Sabra Creepy Soprano for doing the voiceover of the anti-human activist. I understand that was a very hard role to play, and she pulled it off perfectly, I believe. Go follow her on Instagram. Just have a happy Shrek year, everyone. Take care.